Welcome to another episode of the Goal Getter Podcast. I am your host, Erica Martin, and I am happy you are here today. Let's talk about Budweiser. Budweiser is at the top of every everybody's kind of, it's just at the top of everybody's list right now about what is going on with marketing, right? So if you don't know, if you haven't heard, Budweiser produced an ad, a commercial, a TikTok, whatever, how they probably chopped it up to 100 different things. Budweiser decided to take upon themselves to go into a different market that they've never been into and create a video around that. So let's talk about what happened. So basically they used a trans woman, right? So, and again, I'm not here to talk about trans, gay, lesbian, straight, whatever. That's not my place. I'm one who loves all. And again, you make your choice. It's not my business. So I support anything and I'm a safe space. So that's putting that out there. But let's talk about what they did. So the VP of marketing was just interviewed, and she said that they were trying to take the Budweiser brand from a frat boy brand, meaning low-cost beer that is geared towards like college kids. And they wanted to take this low-cost product and turn it into a different market and give it a little, give it just a little twist. They didn't redesign any of the packaging. They just basically took the marketing and had a trans woman who is a very famous influencer at the moment. If you don't know any of her content, she has gone on saying, she's going on day 365 of being a girl. And again, I haven't dove into what that exactly means, but she's a very influential person. So they didn't do anything wrong by going to an influencer. Influencer marketing is a massive, massive thing right now because people trust who they can relate to, right? But their audience, their current audience, and Budweiser did say that they are slowly, their profits have slowly tanked over the years, so they wanted to try something different. But their audience is a frat boy at this moment, right? And their audience is a little more rural America, the good American beer. If you look at like that was the Bud Light, it was a Bud Light commercial or a video. And you have the Budweiser, that is a very old school beer. It's been around forever. You always think of like the Clydesdales with that. But again, they wanted to get into a different market. The type of marketing that they created is called agitation content when it comes to social media. It's a strategy where you create content where you're going to go in and you're going to blast an industry norm. So if you were in, in a social media industry and you wanted to say, I think TikTok is going to die today. I think, or like after today, it's going to be gone. And like people are on TikTok and a lot of marketers, businesses using TikTok. You're going to go out against an industry norm and you're going to make a stance. So that's what they did. They decided to provide this agitation content and try to get into a different market. Well, this person's following, the influencer, did not align with their current audience. Now, the influencer doesn't always have to, but when you're going after a new audience, and this is something I learned at Target too, when you're going after a new audience, you have to take the existing audience and this existing target market into consideration. That's what they didn't do. They did a complete 180 from who their market was, the hardworking man, the Budweiser, the Clydesdale, the man's man beer, and they put somebody in front of it that just doesn't align with their market. So what happened is their stock tanked by billions and billions of dollars. I heard a story where a Budweiser truck pulled into a liquor store and the owner said, turn around, leave before I, call the cops on you. I do not want your beer. Liquor stores are not carrying the beer. Bars are not serving the alcohol. This has become a political nightmare in a way, right? It has become a mess that they didn't intend. They intended for there to be repercussions. They intended for there to be chatter, like, oh my gosh, they're taking a trans person and putting it in front of a all-American beer. And again, not that that's not all American, but like a rural working man beer. Their audience is men. I can say that out loud. And that they missed the mark. They missed the mark. And the VP of marketing, who as of right now, I think still has a job, I would say won't have a job for long. And Budweiser, if you're listening to this, my agency is hiring. Martin Media Services, media company, let me know. Anyways, you don't go that far off a path. So you have your core audience. When I'm working with a client, and something I teach inside of my membership program is when you have a core audience, you have a solid core audience. You can deviate a little bit off, but if you're someone like Budweiser or Bud Light and you've known who your core audience has been for 70 years, I don't know if it's been around that long, I'm just making that up, but let's say 50 to 70 years, probably even more, you know who your audience is, and that audience has not changed very much, that you can't do a complete transition like that. You just can't. Now, if you were like Target, for example, and you brought this influencer in front of the Target space, Target has, it's diverse. The Bud Light brand is not diverse, and that is okay. I am not saying it's bad or good or whatever. I am saying their audience did not appreciate this, and I felt like they somewhat knew this was going to happen, but I don't think that they thought it would be this massive. So this was 100% an audience flop. It's a marketing mistake. How do you come back from that? That's a doozy. That is a doozy. Here's what I say when, number one, understand your audience. Who is your core audience? You have a core, and then you have a secondary audience. Stick with your core audience. If you don't know who that is, start asking those questions and listen. Ask existing customers, existing clients. You will understand who they are. Understand your audience. If you don't understand your audience, you are never going to make sales, or you're never going to grow as fast as you want. So how do you come back from this, right? How do you turn around and say, how do we fix this? What do we do? Anytime when I was working with Target, when we ever had to do any type of crisis marketing, because it happens in any industry, we have to do it today. When we are working on crisis marketing, the first thing you need to do is be honest. Own your mistake. I have worked with many, many people, and if you need someone, please let me know, but I have worked in crisis marketing. We assess the whole situation. When we come in, we will assess the whole situation. We will say, what went wrong? How did we get off course? So we find the root problem, right? And then we own it. If you own it, your audience they will respect you more, and they will start to build that like, know, and trust factor, okay? So you need to own it. Own what is going on. And then you need to fix it. How can we fix it? What can we do? Budweiser it's gonna take some time. This one was a big one. This was a really big one. I have seen other brands use this influencer, and again, I'm seeing brands like Olay use the influencer, and it's not getting well received. You have to tread lightly. I always tell my clients, if you do not talk, unless you're in that industry, do not talk politics and do not talk religion. And I always say, don't talk about it on your business page and do not talk about it on your personal page. If you are a business owner or an entrepreneur, your business page should align with your personal page. Now, you can share stuff on your personal page, yes. But if somebody wants to invest in you and your business, they can dig, and I don't care how private you can make that account, they can dig until they find what they want on your page. So if you have a page that's just blasting political stuff one way or the other, be careful. Don't post anything political or religious unless you're in those industries. Then, of course, you can. And I just say across the board, people will say, well, like, I want to post this little thing about whatever. Like, if you just don't do it, there's nothing to fix. So just don't do it. right? There's so many other things within your business to talk about. Just don't do it. So thank you guys for tuning in. If you like this episode, make sure you give me a review and hopefully a good one, and subscribe if you're watching this, and have a great day. We'll see you in the next episode.